Jodi was setting her usual good pace, and although it was earlier than Bibi usually preferred to go running, he thought he might just get used to this. The chill morning was still and quiet. Mist hung in a low sheen, silvering the dew-speckled fields. The looming sunrise sculpted the line of low hills to the east, just silhouettes right now, but he could already see the pale ghosts of farmhouses beginning to emerge. To their left, the sluggish river flowed with a comfortable murmur, calm beneath a hazy blanket. It was beautiful. They crossed a low wooden bridge spanning a stream feeding into the river, their footsteps loud and then quiet again when they hit the grass on the other side. Once through a small gate and in the field beyond, Bibi put on a burst of speed so that he was running beside her. "You kept this all to yourself," he said. "You're the one who prefers road running. I'm in the early mornings. This is glorious. And you're the one who likes a lion. The river looks inviting too. Fancy stripping off for a swim?" She smiled sidelong at him, then switched directions straight across the field, no longer following the trodden footpath beside the river. Bibi slowed for a few seconds, then fell in behind her again, trying to match her footsteps through the tall, wet grass. It was a game he'd played as a kid when he was out walking with his parents. Then he'd had to stretch. Now his footfalls were tight and fast. They ran in silence until they reached the far corner of the field, where she vaulted an overgrown stile and disappeared from view. "Hey!" Bibi leaped the stile, caught his foot on a trailing bramble, and almost spilled. He landed, caught his breath, and looked beyond the hedge. A narrow path wound uphill, and he just caught sight of her red running pack disappearing from view. "Jodi!" She didn't answer. It didn't matter. They both knew where they were headed, and though Bibi hadn't run these trails before, he often traveled the surrounding roads and lanes on his bike. He was familiar with the old abandoned house on the hill, too, though he'd never paid it that much attention. Not until 2 weeks ago. Now, it was the only thing on his mind. Bibi ran on, enjoying the silence and watching his footing. It wouldn't do to turn an ankle now. What the hell would Matt say to that? He glanced at his watch, though he had a pretty good idea of the time, approaching 7 in the morning. They were nearing a narrow road, and around the corner he slowed and came to a stop where Jodi was leaning against a fence. A potholed lane lay beyond, connecting one main road to another and providing access for several farms and a handful of isolated country homes. Unlike the house forefront in his mind, those other places were all inhabited. She took a swig from her water bottle and handed it to him. "Matt'll be on his way," he said. She nodded, breathing hard, and tapped 2 fingers against her forehead. "Mission going entirely according to plan, sir?" I think you're the boss of this operation. Shared ownership." "I love it when a plan comes together," Bibi said. She frowned. "George Peppard? Hannibal Smith? The A-Team? Huh? You're fucking kidding me." "I thought that was Liam Neeson," Jodi said, bemused. Bibi went to protest again, never quite sure when she was winding him up, when they heard a car engine. Jodi grabbed his arm and tugged him away from the fence, back towards the sheltering undergrowth. "Hey, we're just 2 runners," he said. "But if we don't have to be seen, best we're not." She pulled him down behind a wild hedge, and they saw the silvery flash of a van pass by. He leaned in close and kissed her ear. "Ugh, sweat." You don't usually complain," she said. "Come on, across the road, then up the hill." They moved on, and Bibi felt the familiar thrill of effort, made more complete by exercising with Jodi. They didn't do it together often enough. He preferred biking or running on the roads when the sun was up. Her love was trail running pre-dawn or at dusk. She said she liked the peace and solitude, and it was a reflection of her general dislike of crowds and other people in general. A perfect run for her was 10 miles along the river or around the local hills without encountering another person. This morning, he was really starting to understand the allure, and not only because of what they were doing. This felt good for the soul.